All right, Coach, just a few days away from kickoff, and this is a unique experience for Michigan State fans throughout the state of Michigan. But Traverse City has those two connections on the Spartan team as well. Tell me a little about what it's like to coach the Bullas through high school and now see them on this grand stage here in the Big Ten Championship game.
Well, it's definitely exciting for our school. Between Max and Riley, and then Kyle Lentz also being on the team as an old lineman down there. It's exciting seeing them and following them for a number of years. We're lucky and fortunate with some kids at some different places to be able to follow Joey Carriage at Michigan and Matt Zakcheski down at Indiana, so get to see them play each other. But the ability to see at this stage going for a championship, which is something I know Max has really wanted really bad since he left high school. He was itching to go. Senior year got done down at Ford Field, and he was itching to go to get to Michigan State, which he left early. And this is what he's been dreaming of.
And specifically with Max, you're talking about his feelings right out of high school there. He entered college with a lot of buzz, but I don't think anybody expected him to be as nationally prominent and to be a leader of the best defense in the country. I mean, you saw him obviously being a role model and a leader of a good defense, but he is one of the faces, if not the face, of the most dominant defense in the country. So just talk to me a little about how special that makes it for you to see.
Well, I think, as far as recruiting goes, and when I was in the college ranks trying to recruit kids, and you look at the numbers and the intangibles at, the 40 time and lifting and the height and the weight and all that type of stuff. And the one thing I think Michigan State knew from the get-go, and we kept reminding him, he's a little different kid. He is way into football, but he is a high academic kid. I know December 10th he's out in New York for the Heisman level of an academic award. And
what is that one called?
I can't remember the exact name of it.
Tom was telling me about it the other night.
Yeah, it's pretty special award. I think there's 4 kids up from Division I football for it. So, he's in finance, so he's in a tough major, and a very academic kid, but he just, they call him the computer. That's his nickname, and I think that's what they've got. They've got a driven kid that gets everyone around him going in the same direction and fighting. He doesn't settle for anyone not pulling their own weight, but I think he's a good leader in that he's able to deal with a lot of different people. That was something we talked about when he was in high school, the ability to deal with a kid that can't do the things you can do, and how do you get them going because you need them on your team. And I watch him out there, and we all see him directing, the line, and they've talked about it. Notre Dame talked about, Coach Kelly talked about them having kind of a chess match between Reese and him and trying to figure things out. But he's really the whole package. They try to break him down and say maybe he can't do this as well as this athletic linebacker, but he's a true football player, and he's got the smarts to go with it. So he's not going to be in a bad place, and he's so driven that it makes him that much of a better leader.
I think each and every year he's also raising his stock for the draft that's coming up in April. I know Tom and I were also talking about that, and projections right now I think have him third round, looking like that second afternoon there after the first round. And who knows, like Eric Fisher last year from CMU, right? Maybe the combine and whatnot, he just keeps shooting on up. Just tell me a little bit with both Riley and Max, what it's like to be at this stage with this program, knowing all the family lineage that's in East Lansing with that Spartan community, and how they can just add to that legacy of dominant Bullas at Michigan State.
Well, I think you look across the nation, Harrison, at a bunch of the teams that are top teams, and people fight to want to be on those types of teams. So you look at Alabama, and if you're in the state of Alabama, everyone knows it's either Roll Tide or War Eagle. You're born that way. And Michigan's a similar situation. And I don't know if there's a truer family that just bleeds green. And so with Max and Riley, when Max talks about raising the program, it has nothing to do about him. And it has everything to do about making sure the Michigan State program is better now when he leaves than when he got there, because he loves it that much. And, those kids growing up, both sides of the family, not just on dad's side, but mom's side also, I think they look at the Michigan State program as something that they're there to take over and make sure it's better when they leave. And I think that's what makes Max so special with that program is really taking a heart to it, that it's his program and he wants to make sure it's even better now after 4 years of playing.
Yeah, so his other brother can feel right at home when he gets
exactly. So he can fill some pretty big shoes.
Yeah.